It was the start of summer, and Maya was already feeling the weight of boredom settle over her small town life. At 14, she longed for adventure, but the dusty streets of her village didn't offer much excitement. Her parents, both historians, often went on long research trips, leaving Maya with her eccentric Uncle Theo, a retired archaeologist who filled his home with artifacts and strange objects from all around the world. One rainy afternoon, while exploring her uncle's study, Maya stumbled upon a crumbling, yellowed map tucked inside an old leather journal. The map was unlike anything she had ever seen. Intricate lines spiraled across the page, marking mountains, forests, and a strange glowing symbol at the center labeled Eldoria. Maya felt a thrill of excitement. The name Eldoria sounded familiar, but she couldn't quite place it. She scanned the journal, flipping through pages of ancient texts and hurried scribbles. Eldoria, she discovered, was said to be a lost city, hidden deep within the enchanted forest of Vale, the place no one dared to go. According to legend, Eldoria was once a thriving kingdom, brimming with knowledge and magic. It was ruled by a powerful sorcerer, but one day, the city vanished overnight, lost to time. Most believed it to be a mere fairy tale, a myth spun by storytellers to entertain children. But Maya wasn't convinced. The map felt real. It was calling to her, almost as if it wanted her to find it. Determined to learn more, she took the map to her Uncle Theo. His eyes widened in disbelief when he saw it. "Where did you find this?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. "It was in your study," Maya replied. "What's Eldoria? Was it real?" Theo leaned back in his chair, his fingers tracing the edges of the map. Eldoria was once believed to hold the greatest secrets of the ancient world. Some say it possessed the key to immortality. Others claimed it was home to a library of forbidden magic. I spent years searching for it, but I never found any proof it existed until now.
Maya's heart raced. She knew this was the adventure she had been waiting for. "I want to find it," she said, her voice steady with resolve. Theo hesitated, but he saw the determination in her eyes. "If you're going to do this, you won't go alone," he said finally. "I'll help you, but be warned, this journey is dangerous. The forest of Vale is not like any ordinary forest. It's filled with ancient magic, and many who enter never return."
A few days later, Maya and Theo set out on their journey. They packed supplies, the map, and a compass and followed the trail that led into the heart of the forest of Vale. The trees towered above them, their branches twisted and gnarled, casting long shadows on the forest floor. There was something unsettling about the air, thick and heavy, as though it held secrets of its own. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the path became harder to follow. The trees seemed to shift and move, and strange whispers echoed around them, as if the forest itself was alive. "Stay close," Theo warned, his eyes scanning their surroundings. "This forest has a way of playing tricks on the mind." Maya nodded, gripping the map tightly in her hands. She couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. After hours of walking, they came upon a clearing. At the center stood a massive stone archway, covered in vines and moss. Carved into the stone were symbols that matched those on the map. "This is it," Maya said, her voice filled with awe. Theo stepped forward, examining the archway. "It's a gateway," he murmured. "But to what?" Before they could ponder further, a gust of wind swept through the clearing, and the ground beneath them began to tremble. The symbols on the archway started to glow, and with a loud rumble, the stone began to shift. The archway opened, revealing a shimmering portal. "There's no turning back now," Theo said, glancing at Maya. Taking a deep breath, they stepped through the portal. On the other side, they found themselves standing at the edge of an enormous, overgrown city. Ancient stone buildings stretched as far as the eye could see, crumbling and weathered by time, yet still retaining a certain grandeur. Vines and ivy crept up the walls, and glowing crystals dotted the streets, casting an ethereal light over the forgotten city. "Eldoria," Theo whispered, his voice filled with awe. "It's real."
Together, they read through the book, which told the story of Eldoria's downfall. The city had been a place of great magic and knowledge, but its rulers had grown greedy, seeking to control the forces of time itself. In their arrogance, they unleashed a powerful curse, causing the city to disappear from the world and trapping its inhabitants in an eternal limbo.
Theo nodded, his expression grim. Be careful. This place is filled with ancient magic, and not all of it is friendly. Their first stop was the city's central plaza. At the heart of the plaza stood a massive, ornate fountain, long dry, but still imposing. Around it were 4 towering statues, each holding a different object: an orb, a sword, a scroll, and a staff. These must represent the ancient guardians of Eldoria, Theo said, studying the statues. According to legend, the guardians were entrusted with the city's greatest secrets. As they examined the fountain, Maya noticed something strange. The base of the fountain was covered in intricate symbols, similar to those on the map. Look, she said, pointing. These symbols, they match the map. Theo knelt down, tracing the symbols with his fingers. It's a riddle, he said. A clue, perhaps, to unlocking the city's secrets. But before they could decipher it, a low growl echoed through the plaza. Maya spun around, her heart pounding. From the shadows emerged a creature unlike anything she had ever seen, part wolf, part shadow, with glowing red eyes that bore into her. Theo pulled Maya behind him. Stay back, he warned. This is a shadow beast. They guard the secrets of Eldoria. The beast lunged at them, its fangs bared, but Theo was ready. He pulled a small, glowing stone from his pocket and held it up. The beast recoiled, its red eyes narrowing. This stone will keep it at bay, but not for long, Theo said. We need to find shelter. Together, they ran toward a nearby building, the beast close behind. Just as it lunged for them again, they slipped inside and slammed the door shut. Inside the building, they found themselves in a vast, ancient library. Shelves upon shelves of old, dusty books stretched high above them, and the air smelled of parchment and ink. But this wasn't any ordinary library. The books here glowed faintly, as if infused with magic. Theo's eyes lit up. The Library of Eldoria, he whispered. It's said to hold knowledge from all corners of the world and beyond.
Maya ran her fingers along the spines of the books, feeling the magic pulsing within them. Do you think the answer to the riddle is here? Theo nodded. If we can find the right book, we might be able to unlock the secrets of Eldoria. They spent hours searching through the library, poring over ancient texts and forgotten tomes. Maya found books on magic, history, and even time itself. But none of them seemed to hold the answer they were looking for.
Just when Maya was starting to lose hope, she stumbled upon a small, leather-bound book tucked away on the highest shelf. It was old and worn, its cover barely legible, but as she opened it, a soft glow emanated from the pages. Theo, look at this, she called. Theo hurried over, his eyes widening as he saw the book. This is the Book of Eldoria. It's said to contain the city's greatest secrets.
Together, they read through the book, which told the story of Eldoria's downfall. The city had been a place of great magic and knowledge, but its rulers had grown greedy, seeking to control the forces of time itself. In their arrogance, they unleashed a powerful curse, causing the city to disappear from the world and trapping its inhabitants in an eternal limbo.
But the book also held a clue, an incantation that, if spoken at the fountain in the central plaza, could lift the curse and restore Eldoria to its former glory. This is it, Maya said, her heart racing. We can save the city. Armed with the incantation, Maya and Theo made their way back to the central plaza. The shadow beast was nowhere to be seen, but the air was thick with tension. They approached the fountain, and Maya took a deep breath. Are you ready? Theo asked. Maya nodded. Let's do this. She stepped forward and began to recite the incantation, her voice steady and clear. As she spoke, the symbols on the fountain began to glow, and the ground beneath them trembled. Suddenly, a dark figure emerged from the shadows. It was the sorcerer who had ruled Eldoria, his eyes filled with malice and rage. You dare to undo my curse? He hissed. Maya's heart pounded, but she didn't stop. She continued the incantation, even as the sorcerer summoned dark magic to stop her. Theo stood by her side, holding the glowing stone, which shielded them from the sorcerer's attacks. "Keep going, Maya. You're almost there." With one final word, the incantation was complete. The sorcerer let out a roar of fury as the magic of the fountain surged to life. A blinding light enveloped the plaza, and the sorcerer's form dissolved into nothingness. The ground shook as the curse lifted, and the city of Eldoria began to shimmer with new life. The shadow beast vanished, and the oppressive magic that had once filled the air dissipated. As the light faded, Maya and Theo looked around in awe. The city of Eldoria had been restored to its former glory. The buildings gleamed in the sunlight, the streets were bustling with life, and the oppressive darkness was gone. The ancient guardians stood tall once more, their eyes glowing with approval. "You've done it," Theo said, his voice filled with pride. "Eldoria is free." Maya smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over her. She had uncovered the secrets of the Forgotten City, lifted its curse, and restored it to the world. But as they prepared to leave, Maya couldn't help but wonder, what other secrets did Eldoria hold? What other adventures awaited in the magical, forgotten corners of the world? She knew that this was just the beginning.